This video is an illustration of a UX or user experience scenario titled Product Content Path to Purchase, the early phase in consumer automotive shopping, the terrain. Created for Subaru of America by Designery's Interaction Design Department. In concepting Subaru's Model Year 16 product communications content, we've discussed scenarios around the automotive shopper's path to purchase. From these scenarios, we identify gaps in content. These gaps will be the focus of our product communications story making for the coming year. Here's a walkthrough of one of the scenarios discussed, which is the reason we've recommended implementing Bazaar Voice as a solution provider for owner review content in My 16. In 2013, Millward Brown Digital and Google Think Insights published a research study called Vehicle Shopper Path to Purchase, which shows that the automotive path to purchase includes an average of 24 touchpoints, of which 4 are in person, 5 are offline, and 13 are online. Although consumers buy vehicles at dealerships, most of the decision-making process and influential touchpoints are online. Another recent automotive study also published by Millward Brown Digital called Navigating the New Path to Purchase explains that even though they know that every consumer's path is unique, they are able to identify 3 distinct paths based on some common characteristics: high category involvement, brand predisposition, and high social network involvement. For the purposes of this scenario, we'll examine how both the high category involvement and brand predisposition consumers flow through the early shopping phase, or what Microsoft Advertising Research calls the terrain phase. In the terrain phase, consumers commit to buying a new car. Their consideration set is based on experience, trusted recommendations, advertising, and some light research. After a bit of exploration, a select few models are identified as possibilities, and then the real work begins. Shoppers compare and contrast based on detailed specs, reviews, seeing the vehicle in person, and, for a few, an early test drive. This scenario is constructed around a newlywed couple in their early 40s who have decided it's time to buy a new car. Meet Kelvin and Kathleen. Kelvin recently bought a new Legacy, right before he proposed to Kathleen. It's his 3rd Subaru. Kathleen drives a 2006 Mazda 3, which she bought from her sister 5 years prior for a fraction of market value to replace the Honda Civic that her dad had given her as a gift. Kathleen's car has close to 100,000 miles and is in considerable need of a tune-up. Although Kathleen likes her car, she admits that she would like the opportunity to pick a car that she wants to drive. Here's where the story gets interesting. Kelvin is a brand predisposition shopper due in part to the retailer experience he recently enjoyed while buying his Subaru Legacy. In fact, Kelvin's experience at the Subaru retailer was so positive, he added a Yelp review on the Subaru dealership where he bought his car. In contrast, Kathleen is a high category involvement shopper. The thought of driving a new car excites her, and since she was not part of Kelvin's customer journey when he was buying his Subaru Legacy, she doesn't have a brand predisposition towards Subaru like Kelvin has. As a high category involvement shopper, Kathleen's consumer path is characterized by 3 actions before reaching the expression of interest phase: heavy use of auto review sites, search engine surfing, and competitive comparisons on OEM sites. As a brand predisposition shopper, Kelvin's consumer paths include 2 actions: auto review sites and search engine surfing. Kelvin and Kathleen discuss and agree on a set of important factors that include all-wheel drive, fuel economy, and safety. Since Kathleen will be the primary driver, she adds that she cares about how the car handles, its size, and comfort. Given that both of our consumers begin their automotive shopping with reading reviews, Kelvin and Kathleen decide to search online for Subaru Impreza reviews. Here are the top 4 results in Kathleen's search: rankingsinreviews.com, caranddriver.com, edmunds.com, and kbb.com. Kathleen selects KBB. The results page on KBB shows content in the following layout: Impreza with the award icon for 2015 Best Resale Value. To the right is a box labeled top expert-rated 2015 sedans with a competitive set of 4 models and their ratings: Mazda 3, Mazda 6, Nissan Altima, and Toyota Avalon, all with a rating of 8.4. Below the Impreza image near the fold is its expert rating of 6.6, and far below the fold is a consumer rating of 8.2, positioned next to 2 Mazda ads. This is the point at which Kathleen decides to cross-shop the Impreza with the Mazda 3. If we could rewrite history, how could we get Kathleen to a search result that doesn't entice her to cross-shop the Impreza? The ideal scenario would be for Subaru.com Impreza reviews to show up as one of the top 4 results, and here's why. A Forrester study on user-generated content's impact on brand building, and the 2014 Automotive Marketing Roundtable report by J.D. Powers. Both measured consumer opinions on ratings and reviews. The results show that consumer ratings and reviews influence purchase just as much as professional reviews. From a study by TNS titled Digital Life: Understanding the Opportunities for Growth Online, we know that 57% of people trust what other people say about brands more than what the brand says itself. And research from an eye-tracking study by Mediative states that for Automotive, the key findings were 50% of clicks were to the manufacturer's site. Getting back to rewriting history with our ideal scenario, Subaru needs to publish user-generated owner reviews to their model page. Here's where Bizarre Voice can help. Bizarre Voice puts user-generated content to work for the brand. Their curation of customer-written content in the form of reviews will drive traffic to your site because the reviews contain the same natural language used by people in search queries. Search engines love this fresh, straight from consumers content and reward sites that feature it with elevated rankings. Bizarre Voice reports that search engine traffic typically increases 15 to 25% by adding reviews to a product page. So let's summarize this early shopper scenario. Keeping in mind that a UX scenario describes the story and context behind why a specific user or user group comes to your site, we look to answer the following key questions. Who is the user? Why does the user come to the site? What goals does he/she have? And how can the user achieve their goals? In scenarios, we focus on users and their tasks rather than on the site's organization and internal structure. As a result, we discover what content the site must have and how it should be organized. In this goal-driven scenario with Kelvin and Kathleen, who are in the early shopper phase, here's what we uncovered. Who is the user? The primary user is a high category involvement shopper named Kathleen, who is influenced by her husband Kelvin, who is a brand predisposition shopper. Why does the user come to the site? In search of reviews on the model that they are interested in. What goals does she have? Research on the model that pertains to their agreed upon important factors of all-wheel drive, fuel economy, and safety. How can the user achieve her goals? By reading owner reviews on the car. In this scenario, we explore the reason why Kathleen quickly ends up cross-shopping the Impreza with the leading competitor's model, which is the basis for the recommendations around publishing reviews on Subaru.com in our My 16 product communications plan.